In the world we live in today, we log onto our computers, click onto our web browser of choice, and it takes us straight to the internet, allowing us to do as we please. But it used to not be that easy. In fact, at one point in time, the internet was just a mystery to the average person. But thankfully, around 20 years ago, the Mosaic web browser was released and introduced to the world. My name is Haley Robinson, and I was born in the year 1993. When I began researching on computer history in the year 1993, I stumbled upon the release of the Mosaic web browser. I knew I recognized it, and it hit me that I had seen it before in the videos we watched this semester in this class, and I thought that's what I want to do my project on, so immediately I decided that was what my oral presentation was going to be over. The Mosaic was developed at the National Center for Supercomputing Applications at the University of Illinois in late 1992 and was released in 1993. The man famous for coming up with the idea for the Mosaic web browser was Mark Anderson. He was the head of the team who developed the Mosaic, and he worked alongside a man named Eric Bina. Most people probably do not know this, but the Mosaic was not the first web browser. It was just the first to really go big. In fact, Mark Anderson got his idea for the Mosaic from another web browser called the Viola www. He saw it and thought, that's great, but I can do better. There were basically two major reasons that the Mosaic web browser was a success compared to the ones before it. One being that it was compatible for all users, and two, because it allowed images, sounds, video clips, and multi-font text within a hyperlink. Before Mosaic, most browsers were only available for Unix machines, which were very expensive at the time, so only engineers or people in academics had access to the web browser. The Mosaic was made compatible for Apple computers, the PC, and Unix machines, making it available for everybody. And before Mosaic, you couldn't even view a picture and text on the same page at the same time. But Mosaic made that possible. And also, there was the hyperlink. If you wanted to retrieve a document, you would just click on the hyperlink, and there it was. The Mosaic was more sophisticated graphically than the other web browsers before it, and you could navigate through it easily and scroll through the text with ease. Within weeks of the Mosaic's release, tens and thousands of people had downloaded the software, and 18 months after its introduction, it became the internet browser of choice for over 1 million users. Mosaic popularized the internet and basically introduced the web to the public. In December of 1993, Mosaic's growth was so great that it made the front page of the New York Times business section. The article concluded that the Mosaic was perhaps an application program so different and so obviously useful that it can create a new industry from scratch. As Mosaic's success continued, Mark Anderson realized that he needed to move on and form something of his own. So, when he graduated in December of 1993, he moved to Silicon Valley in California and eventually created a web browser known as Netscape. Netscape would become Mosaic's downfall. Although Netscape developers did start from scratch creating it, they did still use Mosaic's basic code in the beginning, and they called the product Mosaic Netscape. This caused a major problem, and the people at the University of Illinois were not happy. They wanted to change Netscape's name and stop distributing the product. They did change their name to Netscape Communications Corporation, but they refused to quit distributing the product. But in December of 1994, an agreement was reached. The University of Illinois did not make any further claims on Netscape, and they received a financial settlement which was close to $3 million. This did not stop Netscape from rising to the top. By 1996, 75% of web users used Netscape. Netscape's reign over web browsers did not last forever, though. Microsoft's Internet Explorer took over as the web browser of choice and gained dominance. Along with Internet Explorer, other web browsers have come out like Firefox, Google Chrome, and Apple's Safari. Mosaic started the trend for web browsers. It turned the web into an exciting place rather than just a mystery. Although the development of Mosaic ended in 1997 and it didn't live on forever, that doesn't mean it's any less important to the history of computers. I can't even imagine getting on the computer and not clicking on a web browser to take me to the internet. In fact, trying to figure that out It makes me really confused. So can't even imagine how I would do that. But thankfully, there were men like Mark Anderson who made that possible, so I don't even have to try and figure out how to do something like that. With him leading his team into developing the Mosaic and going on to create Netscape that led to the Internet Explorer and so on, it started something amazing for the advancement of computers. I can't wait to see where the development of web browsers go, and it will be so much more interesting to me knowing the history behind them and where it all started. Again, my name is Haley Robinson, and my oral presentation was over the Mosaic web browser. Have a great day.